What's going on, guys? It's your guy Professor O coming through with a dose of that good yolk. I'm everywhere like broken glass. I'm around like a circle. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. Now, when we're moving forward, I want to cover this topic. It's called awareness and being in a constant state of awareness, holding the power of it thereof. Now, what is awareness? Awareness is being conscious of your circumstance, environment, and situation at all times. And when I say at all times, because you may lose awareness, meaning that you dwell in comfortability. You may be a little lack in your discipline towards it. Maybe it be a new trait that you develop, etc. and so forth. And how can I say this? It's still growing and still building. If you notice in my last videos, I don't really use the word maturity because maturity means to me to hit a state of ripeness and then it ends. So we're consistently and constantly developing. And when you develop at a point when you are conscious of your awareness, you want to develop your awareness so now it's not reactive anymore, it's more responsive. And that puts you in a more proper position to be able to handle your situations as you're moving forward, which is a beautiful thing. I digress. I don't want to get too much on the subsidiaries of awareness. I want to get to the main foundation of being aware initially. So when you gain your awareness, there's going to be situations and reactions that's going to cause you to react instead of respond. And I always say this, please take mind and take heed, because when you're in this situation, even though it is a learning experience for you to learn not to do in the future, which is good for your development, but you want to stay conscious on responding and not reacting. Because when you react, you may take on a trait that may go against your awareness, and that in itself is not a positive light. It never is and never will be, except yourself. Excuse me, sir. I am recording, by the way. Would you be mind if you can walk past or let me know so I can pause?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. But thank you very much for your patience. We're moving forward. So, as we're moving on, you want to be more responsive and more reactive. And again, a soft answer turns away wrath while harsh words stirs up anger. Stay cool, calm, and collected at all times, at any given time. Why? Because you are an example and a beneficiary to what's happening to the greatness and goodness of God at all times. Remember that, stay cool, stay smooth, and stay blessed. And I'm going to keep it all because you've noticed in my videos, kind of been a little bit bare bones with the videos, but we're going to keep going until we get in our situations where it's a little bit more, how can I say, when it's a little bit more, I don't know. When our situation changes more for the positive, but then we'll be good, we'll be grooving, we'll be good, we'll be smooth with it, all right? Let's keep it going, all right? Anyway, so now when you're becoming more responsive, right? Let's say you went through the reactions, you went through the trials, the tribulations, of when you're being aware. Because when you're aware of it, your eyes are opening. Your mind is opening, attached to your eyes, meaning that you're now thinking more of on a point of awareness instead of a point of ignorancy, which is a beautiful thing. And now, in that sense, because again, when you're reacting, it necessarily doesn't have to mean to a current situation that's happening, like you're experiencing. It could be a state of mind. That means like, oh my gosh, wow, I was ignorant to this fact, and now I became aware, and now I see that I was ignorant to this fact. You may want to react in a certain situation instead of responding correctly. Remember, when you're responding, you're thinking. It's like thinking before you speak. If you notice, a lot of people do not think before they speak. They just speak it open-heartedly, and depending on the situation or how emotionally involved they are, then they start reacting, and now they're speaking instinctively instead of responding logically. Now, as you see in my videos when I speak, right, it's more so I like to dwell towards logic. Now, I'm not sitting here saying, again, you also want to hear me say, I'm not infallible here, right? I am a work in progress, which is such a beautiful thing because I'm constantly growing, learning, and improving. So don't take this, but what I am saying from my experiences, a cool, calm, responsive answer has always led to the results that I desire rather than right? You see me out here studying. See, I'm not perfect, so work with me here. Instead of an emotional response. Because when I responded emotionally when I was a kid, especially, you think, you know, how can I say, like, it feels right at the moment, but you don't get the desired results. And then that shows your growth. Because you have to notice, you're going to bump into a lot of individuals out here who haven't actually grown mentally. And that's fine, because everybody has their own pace and path, which is up to you to actually help them, or there's others who's heavier. Everyone has a role to play. Play it adequately and efficiently, and everybody will be up and end up where they need to be. So when you're in that state, right, and you're growing, and as I was growing, I learned that I wasn't getting the results and the desired outcomes that I wanted. And now I naturally always was thinking calmly about it, but then in the situation I noticed I'm too personally involved. But you also got to realize when you're conversing with someone, or when you're enduring or experiencing an environment or a person or a thing in general, you got to realize yourself, all right, I'm involved in this, but am I personally here, meaning that I'm emotionally attached to the situation? Or am I generally here, meaning that I'm presently here physically, but my mental is looking at the situation in a totally different aspect? Because if my mental is totally involved in the situation, then I'm personally involved, and then I may get emotionally involved. And trust and believe, that's a full-blown, beautiful experience, because you experience things wholly. But at what cost? Certain things don't require that level of attachment. Now, though the experience may be beneficial because you're feeling it all, but to feel it all and to respond emotionally from those feelings, that isn't going to be a beneficial outcome. Now, if you can experience it all and still use your logic, now you're showing growth. Now you're showing a high level of development, which is a beautiful thing. Because now as you're developing, not only are you bettering and you're rinse, wash, and repeating this form of thought, this form of perspective, others around you that is observing you can kind of take note and be like, oh wow, look how he handled that. I like that. I didn't know that could be handled in that situation. They may have always felt that they can do it and maybe thought that they can do it, but then when they see that it's actually possible, you give inspiration for others to be able to copy and paste that situation. And once that happens, then they can do it in their own way. See, the point of being inspired by an individual is not to copy and paste someone else's work. Even though you may be so inspired, you may do so. We all done it, But as you consistently grow, you want to take what works with you and kind of discard the rest, because at the same time, we're all the same, but individually made different. Meaning that we all have two limbs, two legs, two eyes, etc. So forth. One mind, hopefully, to be able to think more beneficial for our situation. But being that we're all individuals and we're all different and we all bring something different to the table, how are you using that? Now we all can be inspired by one another, but how are you inspiring others in your own personal uniqueness, if you even have it at all? A lot of people have delved on and put on so many masks and costumes, etc. so forth, that they don't even have a true sense of self, where they have no core or where they're coming from. They're everything in all times, but no individuality. Now that's brilliant to be able to put yourself in other positions. But if you have no core sense of self, then whatever you're putting on will wither away. He that is in me is greater than he that is in the world. So if you're putting on other things that's of this world, which will rust and be perished, instead of putting on the things that are inside that will forever be, well, I digress. That's self-explanatory. I don't want to lead too much into that. I can get back to the notes. Because I've noticed I like to veer, I'm veering a lot, but we're going to get back to it. So, I think that's all. This may be a short video. Alright, well, when you're also aware, alright, I'm going to add into it, and I think I'm going to wrap it up here. When you're also aware of it, you become responsible, because you know. And now, how do you conduct yourself? And how do you keep applying this awareness? Because once you more are aware, once it's become more cemented, once it's more concrete and it's a stable foundation, of understanding that in a certain level of perspective, like consistently aware, then other traits start being more charged. They start being more, wow, like this right here is I don't even know how to say it. Because, excuse me for this, I'm going to keep all this so you can just let you know it is very real that I'm speaking. It comes to a point where there's only but so much words can express, you know? When you get on this path and you start understanding more and you start expressing yourself a little bit more uniquely and more personable, you begin to realize that it's more of a, how do I say it? It starts solidifying. Again, you start hitting level that words truly just can't express the situation. But it just becomes more beneficial for your situation. Simple as that. There is no in between, right? But at the meantime, in between time, I love you guys. I appreciate you. This message was for the adapt. So go out there, stay cool, stay smooth, keep doing the most positive things in the situation. We're moving, we're grooving, we never losing. And it's gonna keep going, baby. We're gonna keep doing it. That's just how we're doing it. Listen, peace, love, and light. Always good to see you guys. See you in the next vid. Appreciate all the love, appreciate all the support that I've been getting and I've been receiving. And for the haters out there, keep on hating because I love you guys anyway. So you're out. Keep hating. Who's gonna spread the news about me, right? Peace, love, and light. See you.